So now that's covered. We're gonna do the eyes. This is the fun part, and it's the part that some people that aren't super into makeup feel like is really daunting, but I promise you it's not. If I was doing someone's makeup on set or for a wedding, a primer, a eye primer, a lid primer. A lot of people say, oh, you don't need that, what's that? Actually, for an event where you need to be looking fabulous for hours and hours and hours, and you might not really want to be in the bathroom a lot touching up your makeup, primer is really helpful. It helps prevent eyeshadow from creasing. You know how eyeshadow creases in the lid? So the primer helps. I'm just going to go ahead and put on some of that primer. Excuse me one second. With all this primer, I put the primer on my lids. It's like an eye cream. Well, guess what? I have to let it dry. So I'm going to close my eyes, take some deep breaths, and you can't really multitask when you're letting your primer dry because you need to have your eyes closed. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? I'm just going to let this dry for about another minute. Got my mask on. We're in tough times. It's really tough. I went back to school to be an art teacher, and my plan was to, during the summers, to be doing private makeup clients. Because I love makeup so much, I just wanted to change my avenue on how I was doing it. I wanted to be able to work with kids, and not in the way of just putting makeup on them for commercials. I wanted to be able to help them with the arts, because you know what? A lot of makeup artists are really just painters at heart. I know that's who I am. So my dreams are a little crushed right now, because I wanted to be a makeup artist during the summer. I wanted to do weddings. My fiance and I were planning on possibly moving to Nashville, and I was going to get a tiny house or a trailer, and I was going to do beauty makeup in my trailer for events and weddings. But gosh, that just feels so silly right now, you know. A couple more deep breaths. The primer is dry. Okay, now it's dry. Now it's really, really dry. Okay, so I've done the primer. Again, this is by Makeup Forever. Pretty much my favorite makeup line. Well, people always ask me, what's your favorite makeup line? I don't really have a favorite. It depends on how much money I have and who the client is and what their tastes are. If I'm working for someone that's really into natural beauty, like eco-friendly stuff, then I'm going to go green and I'm going to do a more green line. But if I'm trying to do super pigmented pop art colors, I'll probably go for like Makeup Forever or NARS or Kat Von D. It just depends on the situation. I'm an artist. I don't really care that much about brands. Sometimes you do concealer first so that you can see how your eye changes. I do that if I'm doing a really natural look, but right now I want to have a little fun. I don't really want to do a super natural look. So I'm going to do this afterwards because the eye makeup is going to fall and I'm going to have to wipe it. This is a beige by Urban Decay. It's got some shimmer in it. I'm going to put that all over my eyelids as my first step. Excuse me. So that was step one. It's just a nice shimmer. It's a little hard to tell in this light, but it's just a soft sparkle. And, you know, make sure it's all blended. I don't mind if it gets a little bit in here because it's so soft, you know, it doesn't really matter. Now, step two is I'm going to add a darker color. And I wanted to show you guys this color wheel, which is something that you can use in fine arts, but you can also use it for makeup. So for me right now, I'm wearing this like maroon dress, and I also have greenish blue eyes. Well, they're more green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think, what are going to be the complementary colors that I can use for my eye makeup? For the maroon dress, I'm going to go for, okay, what's the opposite on the color wheel? That's a complementary color. Okay, that's green. I'm not really in the mood to put on green eye makeup, so I'm going to skip that. What color are my eyes? My eyes are a green. Well, What's the opposite of green? Maroon. Okay, now the color wheel is sort of nudging me saying, you know what? Why don't you do maroon? Because maroon is gonna bring out the green. It's not quite as loud as putting on green eyeshadow, so I'm gonna do a maroon eye.